that. All right, friends, this is Betty. This is my dog guru. And if anything, if you don't want to follow what we're doing here, follow her. She always is in Shavasana. All right, friends, let's take that nice comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall, and maybe as you arrive, just rock a little bit side to side until you feel even on your sitting bones. And you could do the same kind of rock forward and back until the shoulders come over the hips. So always I want to remind you in our yoga practice of yin, we are looking, these are the three principles that we kind of structure and live by when we come to a yin space. We only go as deep as feels safe and comfortable in our bodies for that day. So maybe you did this pose 2 weeks ago and you went really deep. Today is a different day. It's a new day. Maybe the body feels a little bit different based on sleep, food, energy, all of that kind of stuff. And if you're a female, where you are in that menstrual cycle as well, that definitely plays a part into our energy. So only go as deep as feels safe and comfortable. We hold still and we hold for time, right? Because the time is what allows us to get that posture deeper into our body so we can really feel the sensations and let them go. So once your shoulders are over your hips, I invite you to close your eyes from top to bottom. And keep pressing those sitting bones into your mat or to your bolster, whatever you are on, maybe a block. And keep reaching the crown of your head nice and long. And on an inhale, go ahead and lift your shoulders up. And then as you exhale, roll your shoulders back and open up through the heart space, making that nice open area to breathe. And I want you to find a breath that you are able to maintain throughout our entire practice. So if it's ujjayi, then let it be ujjayi. If it's not, then a nice breath in with a slight pause at the top and a slow, smooth exhale through the nose if possible. Allow this breath to be intentional. It's not just our everyday shallow breath into the chest. Can we allow that breath to come a little bit deeper into the bellies? Deep breathing is a practice we all need on a daily basis. And soften all of your facial features. Relax your jaw, your eyebrows, your forehead, and the space in between your eyebrows as well. And leave some space in between your top and your bottom teeth. And setting an intention here for your practice or for your day or for the rest of your weekend. What kind of energy do you want to manifest for yourself? Just focusing on that inhale and noticing how the breath leaves on the exhale. 2 more breaths just like that. And gently allow your chin to come towards your chest. Let's take a few breaths here, stretching out the back of our necks. Let that breath be nice and full and maintain that length that you created. Now exhale completely. Draw the belly button towards your spine. And on an inhale, gently float your head back up and a gentle turn of your head left to right. Just a couple head turns. All right, so a lot of the main focuses for yin, low back, hips, shoulders, neck, but we do have some other needs here today. So a lot of it seems to be like more energetic, which is totally fine. We do have some physical things, but grounding definitely, and solar plexus work today. So, and we're going to work a little bit on the elbow pain too. All right, and then some heart openers. So let us begin just with some grounding work. Let us bring ourselves onto the floor. If you've sat on something, you can move it off to the side. So typically, in a forward fold, maybe we might have our legs straight. For this one, I want you to bend your knees so the feet can be on the floor, and you can walk the feet a little bit wider. So they don't need to be super narrow. They don't even need to be shoulder distance. They can be wider than shoulder distance or hip distance. And then we're just gently going to come forward into a fold. So a bent legged forward fold, something like this. And we're going to just ground ourselves here for 3 minutes. Nothing too crazy to start with, okay? So I have my timer. It's going for 3 minutes. If you need to come out sooner, please feel free to do so. I always want you to take care of you first. You know your body way better than anybody else on this planet. So I give you permission to give yourself permission to do whatever you need in this practice. So as we go inward, again, very grounding, but we're also getting into the hips and the back, the whole spine. And don't worry, I'm going to be checking the chat in case anybody types something in there that I need to know about. Okay. Cool. All right, friends, and we're holding still here. So the first maybe 30, 40, 50, even up to a minute, we're just kind of allowing the body to get into the shape, to release and relax and soften. You have a good amount of time here in this shape, so just be wherever the pose takes you. Let gravity do the work here. But keep taking those nice full breaths in. Complete exhale when you let that breath go. You might notice the chest reaching a little bit closer towards the earth, or maybe you find yourself rounding forward a little bit more. It's all good. Find your Goldilocks. Not too easy, not too hard, just right. Keep allowing your back body to expand on the inhale. Feel the back of your ribs expand, the low back expands, the upper back, the shoulders. Just feel that breath lift up and inflate your body. Stay for one more full round of breath. Nice full inhale, complete exhale. And then bring your hands to the floor in front of you and slowly inhale, walk your way back up. All right, that was 3 minutes right there. A little counter pose, maybe bring your hands behind you and windshield wiper the knees left to right, side to side. And you can let them fall to the side for a moment, bring them back up, and then do the same thing other side. So it can be a little dynamic with a little hold, totally up to you. Or if there's anything else that you feel like your body might need, go ahead and take that. And just a couple more breaths, and then we'll get into our next posture. We are going to head into a butterfly. So if you want to use any props, you may. I'm going to grab a blanket for this next one. And this is one of my favorite props to use in butterfly. So I take that blanket out, open it up like I just took it off the shelf at the yoga studio. So it's nice and long, so rectangle shape. Taking it and rolling it, all the fringes on one side. This is my favorite part. Okay, so butterfly, soles of the feet come together. Now you can take it into a long-legged butterfly, feet are further away. That's going to take it more into the legs. If you bring the feet closer into the body, that's going to take it more into the hips. So you decide where you want that sensation, right? It's your body. You get to choose where you're going with the shape. I just kind of give you the blueprint, and then you kind of get to take it to wherever you need it to go. All right, take those two tails, tuck it underneath. So now you have some nice little padding in case if, just taking the blanket off and just letting the legs be by themselves, if that is just a little too intense today, then take this blanket roll. It's really lovely. When I go to teacher trainings and things like that, this is definitely the way I like to support my legs. So when you're ready, we're going to take it back into a forward fold. So let's be here for 2 minutes because I think I have something else planned after this will go really well. So again, more grounding here, getting more into the hips and the low back here. Forward fold as much as you like. Maybe the hands touch the toes or the feet or arms alongside your body. But go ahead and breathe and find that just right spot. Not too easy, not too hard, just right. So this pose really invites us to go inward. How are we feeling? What are we feeling? And where are we feeling it? Those are 3 great questions to kind of ask yourself when you settle into the shape. What am I feeling emotionally? Right? Maybe it brought something up. And then where are you feeling it? And what are you feeling? Is it in the low back, in the hips, the shoulders? They're all little clues to what's happening internally. Keep allowing your body to expand with your breath. This is the opportunity that we have now to let the body do that. Take one more full inhale and exhale. And then very carefully, hands down on the floor, slowly bring yourself back up. The next place I want to go with this is into a back bend, so a heart opener here. Now you can release the legs for a moment if you need to, but if you can, keep them like they are. And then we have some props to set up. So maybe we're going to use some, I'm going to have to release my legs to grab my things. Maybe it's a bolster and 2 blocks, or maybe it's just a bolster, or maybe it's just 2 blocks. I want you to find your best setup. I'm going to show you step by step what it's going to look like if you're using the blocks. So blocks, one tall one, the very back, and then one on its side. Put a couple inches in between, and then you can use it just like this. Put your body over it, or you may add a bolster if you want to make it just a little bit less ouchy on the back. I prefer to just use blocks, but like when I do a restorative class, I like to absolutely use my bolster. But take whichever version you like, or maybe you don't use any of the blocks and you use just the bolster all the way down on the floor. Or maybe the bolster with just 1 block. Lots of variations for that setup. But I want you to find the best one for you today. Just because we did this pose yesterday doesn't mean it's going to feel the same today, you know? Um, our bodies are different every day. So let's honor them. All right. And then let us head into this back bend, heart opening, right? So if we're dealing with some stuff that might be weighing on us in our heart, this is a good place to go. If we're dealing with any kind of grief, this is a great posture for that. Really opens us up through the heart space. So we're going to take this for 2 minutes here too. Now, if at any time, if you've had enough of the lower body with the hip opening, you're more than welcome to take your legs straight or bend your knees and let the feet be on the floor and let your knees knock in like a little pyramid with your legs. So other than that, be here and breathe. Let the breath expand now through the heart space, the front body. And let that belly just settle. Let that belly button pull towards your spine. And soften through all of your facial features. And just breathe here. Let your back body rest on those blocks or props, whatever you chose. Let them support you in your shape. It's exactly what they're there for. Take 2 more rounds of breath before doing anything else. And if you closed your eyes, my beautiful friends, begin to flutter open your eyes and come back to your space. And you can take your hands on the outsides of your knees and gently bring the knees together and then straighten your legs. And you can carefully move that blanket roll off to the side if you had it on your legs. Now for the upper body, what we're going to do, we're going to bend one leg and then just kind of roll over to the other hip. Put your hands down in front of your chest and you can just move those blocks off to the side and come back to your backs. All right, so just be here for a moment with me in this constructive rest position. So your spine is on the floor, your feet are on the floor, and your knees are knocking in together, and the feet are a little bit wider. So we have that kind of pyramid shape here. Just be here for a moment. Let your back settle, especially if you had blocks. So you might be feeling some sensation in your back. And just breathe here. And then when you're ready for movement, maybe it's some windshield wipers. Take those knees side to side, getting into the hips a little bit more in the low back. Yeah, the more you let those legs fall to the sides, the more sensation you're going to feel. I'm just going to pop up over to the chat really quick. Keep doing your knee movements. All right, we're all good. Okay. Hello, I see some more of you have popped on. Fantastic to see you all. All right. If anybody joined in a little bit later, if there's anything going on in your body that you want me to address, please feel free to type it in the chat. I am always looking to see how else I can serve you and if there's something else that you're needing from class today. All right, so we're on our backs. We're just kind of knocking those knees together side to side. And then let's gently bring those knees back up. And let's hug one knee in towards our chest. So straighten one leg, bring the other knee in. Just a little bit of movement and stretch here. And then we'll get into our next grounding shape, but also very good for the solar plexus. So if we're dealing with anything happening in the torso, the belly, our willpower, our ability to be steadfast in certain decisions, this next pose is for you, my friends. All right, now go ahead and switch legs, straighten the other leg, bring the other knee into the chest. If you want, you can point and flex that foot too. Maybe add some ankle circles as well. All right, friends, now draw both knees in towards your chest. Good. Give yourself a little rock side to side. All right, we're going to take this into a spinal twist over to the right. So drop those knees to the right. If you need something in between your knees, or if the knees don't make it all the way down to the floor, use a blanket, use a block, a bolster, whatever you have. And the same thing, we want to make sure that left shoulder is on the ground. So if it's not, come out of the twist with the legs a little bit. We always want that shoulder to be grounded. So we're going to be here. Let's hold this for 2 minutes. We'll do 2 minutes on each side for this twist. So do your best to soften and relax into the shape. You're still feeling sensation. This is not restorative. You're going to feel something. And breathe through whatever that something sensation is. Just as long as it's not a sharp shooting pain or a snapping pain. We might feel a dull stretch. That's what we're going for. Some warmth. Right? This is not a very active practice. It's very passive, but there's a lot going on during each pose. Yin is very simple. But simple does not mean easy, okay? First time I went to yin, I kind of went balls to the wall in the first posture. And I was like, whoa, what in the heck is this about? Well, I went a little too far, obviously. I went beyond my edge. So that is what we are always looking for, that balance of effort and ease. Still continue with those nice full breaths in. All right, slowly inhale, bring those knees back in towards your chest. Give them a little rock side to side. So give your low back a little massage. Good. All right, gently bring those knees back to center. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and drop your knees over to the other side. Again, if you need any props, if you need a bolster underneath the knees, making sure that right shoulder is grounded down now. So here we go, 2 minutes, knees to the left. And you can look over towards the extended right arm, up towards the sky, or if you want to turn your head in the same direction as your knees, it's all good. So again, as we settle into this shape, takes a few seconds and a few breaths for the body to adjust. and recognize, okay, we're safe. We don't need to activate the cortisol. We're fine. And then notice where you're feeling your sensation. I'm feeling mine at the back of my hip. I feel it's on the other side too. So I know that is where I need that stretch. It's coming through. And we're just going to breathe through it. Nice full breath in. Complete exhale. Let it go. Let that energy release from your body. That's what we're doing this for. And this is why I truly, truly believe yin yoga is a very, very healing practice. And I'm also trauma sensitive yoga certified. And this, to me, my friends, if you have dealt with any kind of abuse, especially like physical or of the other kind, SA, this is a great, great practice to release that and to get back to your body and to love your body. Very healing. All right, friends, slowly as you inhale, bring those knees back up. Bring your spine so it's nice and centered. And then gently hug those knees in towards your chest. Give them a little rock side to side. And then take your hands on your knees, just gentle circles with your knees in one direction. How we doing so far, everybody? Feeling good? Happy Friday. This is Feel Good Friday Yin Yoga. We want to feel good in our bodies, right? It's such a gift, right? To feel good in our bodies. And then reverse, go the other way. All right, I see some hearts. Yay! Good to see. Glad we're feeling good. All right, I want to get a little bit more grounding work in and a little bit more for the solar plexus. So when you're ready, you can find some stillness, and then we're going to rock our way up and flip over onto our bellies. Just checking the chat real quick. Okay, looks like we're okay. All right, hello everybody. Don't forget to make a donation to your yoga teacher if you're finding some benefit from today's practice. All right, friends, here we go. We're on our bellies. We're doing some Sphinx. Couple things, couple pointers before we get into the hold. I want you to be thinking about your low back here. So if the low back is feeling spicy today, then I want you to take those feet and you can widen your feet as wide as your yoga mat. If the back is feeling healthy, then feel free to bring those feet together. And then elbows are slightly in front of the shoulders. We're going to drop the chest here. So we're really just kind of hanging out in the shoulders. Now you can decide to drop your chin towards your chest. You can lift your head and kind of have it neutral, or maybe you want to get into the throat chakra. Maybe you need some work there with your voice and your vision and your power here. Maybe you drop your head back. So some choices there, okay? Now, if this is feeling too much on the low back, you can walk the elbows out a little bit wider, and that's going to bring your heart closer to the floor, which means you don't have such a big arch in your back. But if the back feels fine, maybe you come up. Maybe you are with those elbows slightly in front of the shoulders. All right, friends, we're going to hold here for a nice long hold. It's going to be about 4 minutes. If at any time you need to come out sooner, please do so. All right, so here we go. 4 minutes in our Sphinx. Just find that stillness. Find that breath.
And once you have found that stillness and that peace in your shape, notice your breathing. I love being belly down on the mat because that really forces me to focus on my breathing and how it feels in the body. Big breath in, you expand your body, the belly presses against your mat. The low back lifts off a little bit higher, a little bit away from the floor now. And then as you exhale, the belly softens and the back comes closer to the earth. Soften through your facial features. Relax your jaw. Let there be no tension in your neck or your face. Everything should feel very light and easy. And all you have to do right now is just breathe. Just be. There's nothing you need to do or say or be or nothing. Just breathe. Continue with your nice full breathing. If you want, for the last minute, you want to take it a little bit deeper into a seal. Take your hands to the floor and then begin to lift your elbows any amount. But try to keep your low back soft. Try not to engage too much here. Let the hands do the work as you press up and breathe. And then if you brought your elbows up, go ahead and gently release the elbows down. Everybody, go ahead and make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on the floor. And just breathe here for a few moments. Let your spine settle back down. Maybe take the legs away from each other if the feet were together. Just give your body a little bit more space. And then maybe you begin to rock the hips side to side. Just loosen up through your low back. And then find some stillness in your body for a few breaths. And when you are ready for some movement, begin to bend your knees and then gently let the feet and the shins sway side to side. Just a little opposite windshield wipers here. And then bring your feet to stillness, bring your feet down, hands under shoulders, press back up. Let's bring it through some cats and cows. So, whatever kind of movement that you need here, if you want to take it into cats and cows, or if you want to take it into a downward facing dog, feel free. Grab a little beverage too, little tea. So, a little bit of movement here. It's nice to take just a little bit of movement in our yin practice between poses. Just a little movement of the pelvis might feel really good. We've been a little kind of static for a while. All right, friends, go ahead and bring your sitting bones down to the soles of your feet. We're going to bring it into a child's pose. So, whatever props you may wish to have, maybe it's a blanket under the forehead, maybe it's a bolster in between the knees. We're going to be here for about 3 minutes. So, find your most comfortable child's pose. Again, maybe it's a block underneath the forehead, a blanket, bolster, whatever you have. And then your arms can be alongside you just for a little more restorative type sensation. But if you want to have the arms extended, you're more than welcome to. All right, friends, here we go. 3 minutes in our child's pose. Now, if the low back is not feeling so hot, maybe you bring the knees together. The knees together will support your low back a little bit better. So you get to choose knees apart or knees together. All depends on how your back is doing today. So again, anytime we come into these forward folds, the practice is asking us to go inward, to start doing some inner reflection. And this is a conversation I have with my partner all the time about how most people don't really have this practice of reflection. And within our yoga practice, it is absolutely built in to the practice, right? We need to reflect. We need to reflect on our feelings and what's happening inside of our bodies. So take this opportunity, right? Like Betty, to just be and reflect, right? This is an opportunity for us to grow, right? We don't need to remain the same. We can do the inner work and evolve. Such an amazing thing as humans that we can do. We all have the capability. It's just the motivation, the drive, and the willingness. And to get beyond the fear of change and growth. They are good things. All right, friends. On your next exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Hands come under shoulders, and then as you inhale, slowly come back up. Go ahead and find your way back up. We're going to take it into a really nice hip stretch. We're going to take it into a pigeon or swan shape. So feel free to use whatever props you need. Maybe you want to put a blanket or two underneath the hips, or a block or a bolster, whatever you have. If you want to lay your swan down, you're more than welcome to. If you want to keep it up, that's great too. So how I typically like to teach this posture, you can do it from downward facing dog or from all fours. We're going to start with the right knee. So bring that right knee in towards that right hand. Not necessary to get the shin completely parallel, but that back leg does need to be straight behind you. And then you lower all the way down, or that is where you slide a bolster or a blanket, depending on how much space there is, or a block underneath your hips. And you can get down right on it, like so. Okay, so you want to feel even left to right, and then you can bring yourself down and sleep that swan, sleep that pigeon if you wish, or you can keep it upright. But we're going to hold here. Let's stay for about 2 minutes on each side. So find your way into that shape. Use all the supports that you need. Good, and just be. Maybe you start upright and then you work your way down, and just breathe here. Take it in stages. There's no rule that says you have to take it all the way to the end of the shape. Okay, like first thing, you don't have to. You can take it to where you need it to go. And if this is as far as you go, then that's okay. It's all good. It's your practice. A practice, not a perfect. And as you're ready, you get to decide when you come all the way down, if you come down at all. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips and our sacral chakra, right? Our sacral chakra, our second chakra, feminine emotions, right? That is the housing of our emotions. So when we do hip openers and big hip openers, we've done a few today, but this is a really big one. When we do those hip openers, emotions may start to come up. We might start feeling certain things, certain thoughts might pop into our head. It's all connected, my friends. Our yoga practice is an opportunity for healing. The things that come up when we're on this mat, I tell you, I can't tell you how many demons I have fought on my yoga mats. And darn it, I have won. I've battled them and I've conquered them. Such a good practice we all need, you know. All right, friends, we are with 2 minutes. So here we go. Hands under shoulders, come back up. Carefully step your way back to your down dog or to all fours. And then we are switching out the legs. We're going to get to the other side. So left knee comes forward, right leg straight. Adjust whatever props you're using, if you're using any. And then you choose. Maybe we stay upright for a little while before we come down. Or maybe we stay up the whole time on this side. Each side's going to feel a little bit different. So just the same way where we come into a posture, we meet it today, we met it last week or the week before, it feels a little bit different. So we do something a little bit different. Same thing works from side to side. Left and right are not always the same, but we honor them and we go, okay, that's where we are today, that's fine, that's where we stay. And then as you're ready, when you're ready, if you're ready, you take it a little bit lower. Keep breathing.
Keep expanding with your inhales. Try not to shrink on the exhale. Maintain that space you've taken up. That just means you have more space inside for things to flow. Same thing with the breath, right? We breathe in, we create more space in the body for the emotions to move. If there's no space, nothing is going to move. So we have to create that space on our yoga mats. It translates to the real world too. All right, friends. Begin to plant your hands under your shoulders. On your inhale, we come back up. Bring that back foot in. And then slowly transition yourself to your backs. We are ready for our final resting shape. So if you'd like a bolster underneath your legs, you can do that. If you want a blanket under your head, you can do that too. All right, friends, when you're ready, join me on your backs. Get any of those little last minute fidgets out. And once you have arrived on your back with whatever props you're using for your Shavasana, just gently turn your head side to side and let your head land on the back part of your skull, the flat part, and just be. We have an opportunity to just allow the body to rest before we head off into the rest of our day or evening, whatever we're doing. So when you're ready, let's take some breaths together. Inhale through the nose. Nice full deep breath in, and then release that breath. Open your mouth. Let it go. 2 more just like that. Inhale fully, deeply. Pause at the top and release. Let it go. 1 more. Inhale. Hold it. Release. Now just find that natural breath, breathing in and out. Begin to deepen your breath. Take some fuller inhales into your body. And then begin to bring a little movement to your fingers and to your toes. Let your thumb run across the other finger pads. And then take it into some wrist and ankle circles in one direction. And reverse. On your next inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Take a full body stretch. Yep, that was necessary. All right, friends, gently bend one knee at a time and carefully roll over to one side. And just pause there for a moment before you pop back up. Just kind of linger on your side. Notice how you're feeling in your body and if anything has changed in your mind. And then when you're ready, use your hands to support you as you come back up. And we will close our class. So thank you so much, all of you, for showing up and being here and sharing your energy and telling me what you need for your class, for your practice. I am here to be of service, all right? This is not about me. I used to come to class. Okay, so there's only like a couple classes that I have like preset sequences for, and it's coming up. So if you have joined me for the past 6 years or almost 6 years on Insight Timer and know that every season I do a seasonal yin chakra balancing class, that'll be coming up because we do have the summer solstice coming up, right? So it's later in June. So look for that on the calendar. I do have all the Tuesday practices at 8 a.m. in there. I do have another one scheduled for Friday, and I believe it's scheduled for 3 p.m. next week. But I might be moving it. So the Friday is the one I'm kind of playing with. But if you liked this time, I might keep it for the rest of the summer because in the fall, I am going back to the classroom. So things will change again. I won't have the Tuesday practice in the morning, but I'll probably try to do something throughout the week. And then I'm going to always try to keep a Friday class. I love my Friday class. It's a great way to start the weekend. All right, friends, so we're all sitting up nice and tall. On your inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in each and every single one of you yogis. Namaste. Thank you so much and happy Friday. And thanks so much for being here, my friends.